All right, all right. That is good coffee. What's crack-a-lackin'? It is your boy, Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So tomorrow, the college football playoff committee will come out with their last set of rankings before the conference championship, right? Or the conference championship games. And I would argue these are the most important rankings because in theory, hear me out, theory, if you make your college football conference championship, you will not be penalized for playing in that game. Therefore, you will not be penalized if you lose. So basically, hey, BYU, Alabama, we're not going to penalize you if you lose. So essentially, wherever you are in tomorrow night's rankings, and we're going to talk about it, man, you make that top 10, that you should be in regardless. That should not change. That should not move you in any which way. And I mean, we'll run through the conference championship games that kind of matter here. James Madison, Troy for the Sun Belt. The American, you have North Texas, Tulane, BYU, Texas Tech. Big implications for BYU there in the Big 12 and the SEC. Alabama, Georgia. Again, where Alabama is tomorrow night is going to be huge. Alabama, this last week, they were at 10. If they are at 10 tomorrow night, they should be in the playoff. We'll talk about both scenarios there. Again, tomorrow night's rankings are going to be kind of huge. Indiana, Ohio State. I legitimately think both of these teams are probably going to get first-round buys. Obviously, the winner will, but I think Indiana goes in there and loses. I think they're probably still going to get first-round bye. Ohio State, certainly, if they lose, they've been pretty dominant all year. But golly, the ACC, doomsday scenario in place, 7-5 Duke. If they win the ACC championship, there is a real possibility the ACC champion won't make the college football playoff. That's kind of a wild notion. So I laid out a little tier maker here, right? Up here, I got your guaranteed teams that are going to be in the college football playoff. They're ranked currently how the AP has them ranked. Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Oregon, Texas Tech. Yes, Texas Tech. Even with the loss to BYU, I think are guaranteed a college football playoff spot. They're simply ranked too high. They're going to, and I mean, technically, 2-loss team. No, they're a 1-loss team. Remember, conference championship game. That loss will not be held into too much consideration. Ole Miss, I know they lost their head coach, Lane Kiffin. They shouldn't be penalized for that. That's silly. Might not get a bye, but they won't be penalized. And then Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M could still get a first-round bye. We'll talk about a scenario that happens there. So there, 7 guaranteed. Those are your 7 guaranteed. But the 11 and 12 seed, listen, Virginia, they win, they're in. If you look at last week's college football playoff rankings, they were ranked what? 18. They are ahead of all group of 5 schools. Matter of fact, there's only one group of 5 school that was ranked last week, being Tulane at 24. Bet your sweet cheeks. I put Duke here. There's no way they win the ACC and they're in, right? There's no way. No way the college football committee puts a 5-loss team in the college football playoff. So there's a real shot that the American and the Sun Belt, well, the American winner and then JMU get in over Duke. I think we'll get a little more clarity of where the college football committee has JMU tomorrow night, but that's how it stands. And isn't it this wild? Tulane, Summerall, he's at Florida now. You got North Texas coach. What? He went to Oklahoma State. Then you have JMU's coach. He just went to UCLA today. Golly gee willikers. So these guys will be, I think, probably without their coaches for any playoff run, any postseason run that they make. So there we go. We got essentially 9 solidified spots. which means here's your final cut teams. We're going to eliminate some of these real quick and then actually take a real good look at who stands a chance to get in the college football playoff. But man, I mean, Alabama, where they're ranked tomorrow night is so key. It's so clutch. If they're at 10, they could go lose the SEC championship game. They should still be in. They shouldn't be penalized for that. But if another team gets in and Bama's sitting there at 11 or 12, oh, it's no sure thing that Bama makes the college football playoff. Again, so we'll find out tomorrow. But as for now, I'm going to put them here in this final cut. But you got Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama, BYU, Miami, Vandy, Texas, Utah. This is how they're currently ranked by the AP. Let's eliminate some teams here. Utah, sorry, Utah. Your best win is Cincinnati. You lost the two most important games on your schedule in BYU, in Texas Tech. And to be fair, none of those were actually really close. They weren't. You're the first one to get cut. It just is what it is. I think Texas can basically kiss it goodbye. I think when BYU won, Texas's shots went out the window. And there's going to be some conversation here. Because, okay, Texas, they're the only 3-loss team realistically we should be talking about in the college football playoff. They have the best win among all these teams. Texas A&M better win than any of these other teams. Maybe you could argue Bama having the win over Georgia. So that's fair. But how, if you're the college football playoff, you are going to put a 3-loss Power 4 school who doesn't make their conference title ahead of a 1-loss Power 4 school who did make their conference title game? Texas has got to be out. I'm sorry. BYU winning means Texas is out. So this is who we're looking at realistically. And I'm going to go ahead and just shoot out some biases. I don't think the college football playoff committee wants BYU in. They might have to because of this whole Miami, Notre Dame conundrum we got going on. They might have to. So these are your contenders here. Let's play this out. Okay, let's say Alabama is in the top 10 when the college football rankings come out tonight. I think they're in no matter what at that point. They should be guaranteed. They're in the top 10. They're going to their conference game. They won't be penalized for playing in their conference game. So now we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 2 here. So 10 spots locked up. 2 more spots available. Bet your sweet cheeks. That's got to be Oklahoma. That's the next team in. Which now leaves a conundrum. A conundrum, I say. Because Oklahoma beat Alabama. That's why I'm putting them in there. So I guess technically you should still have Oklahoma above Bama. Notre Dame, BYU, Miami, Vandy. I feel like I really don't see Vandy making it just because I think there's going to be a bias there. Oh, we can't put Vandy in. And I mean, you could argue that Miami has a better win than Vandy. Vandy's best win, Tennessee. I mean, we could look at their schedules real quick. But Miami best win is Notre Dame, who they currently have ranked up pretty darn high. And then Vandy, your best win is Tennessee. I mean, you beat the heck out of them. But then you have close losses to Bama, to Texas. Both those games were on the road. It's rough, man. It's rough. Let's just kind of get our thoughts out on this. Okay, this is how I'm seeing it. In no world can you let Notre Dame ahead of Miami. In no world should Notre Dame make the playoff and Miami not. Head-to-head should mean too much there. They have similar schedules, very similar. I have them right next to one another right here. I get it. If we're talking about eyeball test, Notre Dame looks like the better team right now. But Miami has the head-to-head. Resume should matter. Any given Sunday. You don't know how a team will go into the college football playoff and compete. Shoot, guys, you're national champion last year, Ohio State. Before the playoffs started, they had a loss to a not great Michigan team. That's how they ended their season, their regular season, on that sour note. And then they go into the college football playoff and buzzsaw everybody, apart from Notre Dame in the championship. So don't tell me, well, Notre Dame, they look better recently. Ohio State, your national champion. They lost to Michigan in their final regular season game and then went on to beat the hell out of everybody else. Oh. And if you want to talk about, Notre Dame, the committee doesn't view Notre Dame or Miami as comparable. They have a literal comparable schedule. Similar games here with similar outcomes. Hey, that Pittsburgh game, Miami beat the hell out of Pittsburgh. 31 points at Pittsburgh. Oh, Notre Dame, they played at Pittsburgh too? Okay, beat them by 22. Okay, Miami beat them a little bit more. Stanford, Notre Dame went to Stanford, beat Stanford by 29. Hey, Miami, this was a home game though. Beat them by 35. Oh, Syracuse. Syracuse is a big one because Notre Dame beat the living piss out of them. Miami did too, but by 28. So a little less points. Miami had a bigger win margin against NC State. They beat NC State by 34. Notre Dame beats them by what? 29. Similar schedule, similar opponents. Both beat the piss out of those opponents. Cool. How do we break this up? Oh, I don't know. How about a freaking head-to-head matchup? Miami, how can you... Listen, I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan. I get it. Is there bias there? Maybe. I don't know. I'm dead inside. Miami lets me down all the time. I am an advocate for justice, though. This head-to-head should matter. Or else... And this goes back to Texas, with their argument. Why do we schedule out-of-conference games that are difficult, and then early in the, or at any point, honestly, in the year, if you're going to hold that loss against us just because we're scheduling better opponents than other teams? Texas, we scheduled Ohio State. We went to Ohio State. Look at our toughness of our schedule. We lost a close game there. But okay, sure. Notre Dame, they start the year 0-2. They go on a tear. Their losses are better than Miami. Well, fun fact, one of Miami's wins is Notre Dame. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. Similar schedules. Beat the piss out of similar teams. You want to look at their best wins? Notre Dame, USC, Miami. Oh, it's Notre Dame. That just feels clear as day to me. It just does. BYU could literally be the out for the college football committee. Their one loss, you could just throw them up there. Because again, we're looking for one team right now because Virginia, we got your 11 and 12 seed being the group of 5 ACC, seemingly. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, we need one spot. Notre Dame, Miami. Oh, what's the tiebreaker? Should be head-to-head there. Is what it is. Someone's going to lose their mind. Okay, let's just throw BYU in there. I wonder if Vandy's going to get a little bit of love. 2-loss Vandy, 2 really good losses. I would argue more difficult schedule than BYU. Do you maybe sneak Vandy in there and just be like, well, sorry, Notre Dame. Sorry, Miami. Kind of is what it is. So I'm kind of looking at, again, this is if Alabama's ranked at 10 tomorrow night. They should be in. Then really the out that the college football committee could have is Vandy and BYU, so they don't have to come to a decision with Notre Dame and Miami. But I think they really want Notre Dame in there. So, okay, let's bring Alabama back down to earth here. Let's say they are now outside the top. They're outside the top 10 because now they're in this discussion. Right? All these 2-loss teams with poor 1-loss BYU. Wish you had a harder schedule, but it is what it is. Now we need 2 spots because what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got your conference winners here. 2 spots. Well, Alabama probably has the best resume. I think they're kind of in regardless. Again, we only bring Alabama back to this discussion if they're ranked outside the top 10 tomorrow night. That's the only way they're in this discussion once again. So, I mean, if we're talking about best schedule, I brought Oklahoma up here, but Oklahoma should be a guarantee. They should be a guarantee. All right, this is Bama's schedule. The Oklahoma loss is a good loss. Florida State, it's the beginning of the year. They're a different team, but I mean, they have easily the best wins. Georgia, Vandy, Missouri was ranked at the time. Still healthy as well. Tennessee. So, like, they went through that buzzsaw. That's already significantly a tougher schedule than anything you're seeing over here. Sorry. So, yeah, Bama should be in. They should be in. Now we're back to the same crisis. Who's that last team? I don't even want to talk about if Texas, honestly, if BYU wins the Big 12, this kind of solves itself because then you just have Texas Tech be it in a large bid and it kind of solves itself, right? Eye test on strength of schedule. I mean, so we could. I don't get that comment there. Eye test on the strength of schedule or actual facts. You're gonna have to clarify that, Morris, in the chat. Eye test on strength of schedule. BYU has a higher strength of schedule. Oh, let's pull it up. Because now I'm curious. Am I missing something with BYU? Let's see. I mean, their best ranked win is Utah. Where is this strength of schedule? I just rattled off Alabama beating like 4 straight ranked opponents. Their best win is Utah, Miami. Miami has a better win than that. And granted, I'm comparing a 2-loss Miami to a 1-loss BYU. And to be fair, with the way the ACC's been this year, it's kind of comparable. To be fair, I mean, I guess you can make the argument Notre Dame and Miami have comparable schedules to BYU. Maybe even make the case for Vandy having a comparable schedule. I don't think we need to talk about Alabama anymore. Alabama should be in. These are the 4 we're talking about. All right. So lost to Bama. They beat a ranked LSU team at the time. Things went south, but I wouldn't want to take that away from them. Mizzou, I think this was after the Prabula injury, right? Yeah. Oh, Prabula got hurt in this game. That's right. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. I get that Texas game. It was like, what, 21-point game going to the 4th. Vandy makes it close, but I don't know. I would argue Vandy has a better schedule than your Miami, your Notre Dame, and your BYU. Can Vandy be our savior? Pull up the actual strength of schedule rankings. All right, we could do that. College football strength of schedule rankings. Here's college football power index. Is that strength of schedule rankings? Here, we'll pull it up right here. All right. So this is strength of record, strength of schedule. All right, we should shoot. I guess we should put Wisconsin in. Toughest strength of schedule. All right, so we got Texas here. There's Texas, there's Bama, there's Oklahoma, there's Oregon. Vandy's right here as expected. They're 22. BYU, okay, they're here at 35. How's that? Let's see. Notre Dame 42, Miami 44. Okay, that's not that big of a difference though. Okay, so I'm going to say this. Me personally, I think I'd put Vandy in over BYU, Miami, and Notre Dame. That's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is the college football committee is going to put Notre Dame in ahead of, and Miami is going to be on the outside looking in. That's probably how it's going to look. It's probably how it's going to look. I bet you all the money in the world. Not my own money, though. All the money in the world. That's not my money. I'll bet you that's what happens. All right. Let's talk a little bit about seeding real quick. Tomorrow's college football playoff rankings are going to be interesting, nonetheless. But I'm pretty confident with these as your guarantees. Let's say Virginia and Tulane win, or you could put North Texas. So what? That's 8. That's 9. That's 9 teams there. There's 11. Then Notre Dame enters as that next one in. I think that's probably what it's going to look like. Let's break this up. Let's do seeds 1 through 4. Let's put seeds 11 and 12. And then I'm just going to put other seeds. All right, let's go ahead. And I mean, again, we could talk about dream scenarios. I'm pretty sure Miami's just dead. It sucks. I'll put BYU and Vandy down here for now because, again, this is kind of what I'm expecting it to look like. So let's go here, here, here. Again, there's a world that it looks like this or this. But again, for the sake of simplicity, let's just do this. Okay, so winner. Who are going to be the 4? This is a fascinating discussion. Who are going to be the 4 teams that get a bye? Ohio State, Indiana. I think both those teams get a bye, regardless who wins, who loses. They're undefeated. They're going to be your buys. I don't think if Alabama wins, they get a bye. 2 losses. I don't know. I think there might be a room for another SEC team. I don't know. We'll talk about it. I think this is probably if Georgia wins, if Texas Tech wins, I bet you it looks maybe something like this or maybe this. I think this is probably your buys. Georgia, you win, you get a bye. Texas Tech, you win, you probably get a bye. What if Georgia doesn't win? Now it becomes fascinating. Who's the other team to get a bye? Riddle me that. Oh, here, I got to put that other seed here. I'll put both of them. I am curious where the college football playoff committee has BYU. if Alabama wins, they're 2 losses. I don't think they're going to get a bye. I think there's a world A&M gets that bye. I think Ole Miss, you lost to Georgia for one, so if Georgia's not getting that bye, I don't think they'll give it to Ole Miss. And they lost their coach. Lane Kiffin's gone. Paul Golden, he's going to be coaching for the remainder of the year. I think that's awesome. I think he's a good DC. We'll see how he does as a head coach. People were trying to crap on him after Ole Miss was like, no, he's going to be our interim and permanent head coach. And I'm like, that's a good choice. Golden's hella good. Oh man. This would be it, right? Would the College Football Playoff Committee not give the SEC a bye, but give it to 3 Big Ten schools? I don't see it. I think A&M probably be that squad to get a bye. Let's not even get it. Is it really a mess? So say Texas Tech loses, they probably won't get a bye. Would Oregon enter the fray, or would they actually just send it and give it to Alabama since they're the SEC champ? But your reward for winning the SEC is an automatic bid, not necessarily a bye. I just don't see where your 3 of your 4 buys are all Big Ten schools. I just don't. Dude, and if Texas Tech loses, I mean, for one, this is going to be all kinds of messed up, dude. This is going to be all kinds of chaotic. I wonder if BYU wins, does Notre Dame go in ahead of Alabama? Because currently, last week's rankings, they had Notre Dame 9, Alabama 10. By no means should that happen. Anyway, it's kind of a long way to just say, buckle up, dude. This is going to be freaking wild. This is going to be an insane ride. You think, no, Ole Miss shouldn't get, okay. Ole Miss should not get dropped because Lane Kiffin is gone. You've yet to see this team under Paul Golden now as the head coach. There's no reason on paper for you to drop them, especially since you haven't seen them yet. Again, I don't care what you think, what you wonder, what you anticipate to be. Look at the regular season. Base everything you're doing based on what you have seen in the regular season, or else the regular season doesn't matter. Anyway, buckle up. It's going to be a crazy ride. I do want to give a shout out to our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. If you download the app, sign up with promo code Broshmo. They match that first deposit up to $1,000 dues. Matter of fact, Gojo's got some of his favorite picks for the upcoming conference game schedule. He's got Texas Tech minus 13.5. They've been a covering machine, anything over 23.5. So there you go. He's going to lean Georgia in the rematch between Alabama in the SEC title game. And he's going to go with Ohio State. And you know what? I was telling Gojo this earlier. I was looking at him like, yo, Gojo, would I bet against Ohio State? No, I wouldn't take Indiana in the points. But I know my heart's going to be rooting for Indiana. It's going to be rooting for Indiana, my boy. But anywho, play responsibly, play within your means. I don't know if there's really much of anything else to talk about here. Really don't. Oh, I think I went too far. I feel like we kind of laid out a lot of different scenarios. I'm just going to call this bye-bye. Again, James Madison, if they're going to get in, man, they got to get in via winning the conference championship game. But I mean, dude, they're also going to be down their head coach, dude. Man, coaching hirings have never come at a more worse time. They truthfully haven't. Truthfully haven't. All right, so that's what we. I guess final notes, ending thoughts, I suppose. I think if I'm the college football playoff committee, I'm leaving out Notre Dame, Miami. Again, we pulled it up. Better strength of schedule is BYU and Vandy. Vandy, 22nd toughest schedule. BYU, 35. Granted, Notre Dame and Miami are fairly close. I would argue BYU is a lot closer to Notre Dame and Miami than they are to Vandy. Vandy's got, I mean, I guess technically the Utah win's better than the Tennessee win if you look at it, at least in terms of rankings. Vandy technically, I mean, I don't know. I think now this is becoming tough. If I had to put in Vandy or BYU, just so I wouldn't have to deal with having to put Notre Dame in and leaving Miami out, who am I picking between Vandy and BYU? I guess BYU kind of does have this, has a decent argument. Their one loss was against the best team in their conference. I feel like my eyes, this is why I did this stream. I needed my eyes to be open to other scenarios. I really did. Man, that Mizzou, those Mizzou LSU loss or wins. I get it. LSU was starting to begin their downfall here, right? But Vandy was a part of that downfall. No, I just want to see LSU's sketty. Yeah, because LSU was a one-loss team heading into Vandy. This began the end of things. And that's how I kind of view it. I think that LSU wins is still a good win for Vandy because LSU, they didn't fire Brian Kelly yet. They still had things to play for. Kind of like how I think people should view Ohio or Oregon's win against Penn State in Happy Valley. Penn State was a national championship contender even after that week. It wasn't until, they go to UCLA. Oh, this team's broken. They're broken. Oregon did that to them. Yeah, every group of 5 team in the playoff pictures without their head coach. Wild times that we are currently in. Well, there's Gojo. He's apparently would like me to go answer the door. Probably have an Amazon package out there. It is the Christmas season. It is the Christmas season. So, yeah, I got packages being dropped off for me children. Texas Tech. Oh, yeah. No, I agree. Texas Tech gets a bye over Oregon if they win the Big 12 championship game. I was just moving things around. I was just moving things around, taking a look at other scenarios. But it is the Christmas season. Tonight, we will have Monday Night Mock. I'll have a new mock draft out for y'all where I looked at a few. I did a couple of different things, checked out different possibilities. Maybe did a mock where Dante Moore goes back to school. Next week, much like I'm doing a live video right now, I think next week I'm going to do a live mock draft. Switch things up, get people in the chat talking. But thanks for joining me today. If you are ready for some chaos, man, buckle in. It's going to be it's going to be absolutely nuts. I can't wait to see the college football rankings tomorrow, the playoff rankings. We're going to be streaming all day On Saturday, we're going to be doing the Big 12 championship game, the Big 10 championship game, the SEC championship game. It's going to be a hell of fun. But thanks for joining me today. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.